Did you see this, or were you blocked by the tree line until you got the drone view?
Absolutely 100% blocked by the tree line.
It was almost a surprise to you once you got up there.
Yeah, exactly. It was like, oh my goodness, once when I saw that, and it wasn't about a couple minutes later, the radar scans picked up the supercell tornadic characteristics such as like a hook echo and
pinch me moment once you got that drone up above the tree line and saw this.
Oh yeah, definitely, most definitely. I was like, I knew then at the very least I was going to get some nice storm structure, with the mesocyclone spinning as it's moving. I really wasn't expecting a tornado until I started seeing more Q indicators stuff, and then I'm like, oh okay, I'm actually positioned right below the forward flank gust front, so I was actually in a good position to where I could see stuff happen and not really have to worry about the RFD getting at the drone. So
the fact that radar is real time, but it's not live. And I think Tommy hit on that, right? What he was seeing in real life wasn't visible to the rest of us on radar.
Yeah, I think a lot of times we sit here and we'll say live radar, and people on TV, they'll have sweeps going. The thing about the radar, it's like a picture. It's a snapshot. By the time you see the image, that has already happened because the radar is still scanning. And even in sales mode, you've got this thing flying around at maybe 30-second intervals or up to a minute RPM. It takes 30 seconds to a minute to scan that storm again. So there is a little bit of a delay, and there's processing delay. So oftentimes when I'm tracking tornadoes, I don't like to point directly where the couplet is on the radar. I try to get like a couple, maybe several miles east or northeast of there, because that's probably where it is in real life. And it's kind of cool to see this all come together in real time between the visible satellite imagery, the radar, and then the visual. And Tommy, I think the cool thing is, initially when I saw your video, I was impressed with the structure of the storm too. Just that mesocyclone was, in and of itself, was pretty awesome.
Yeah. That was. I knew if at the very least, if I got that, I would be happy. I mean, so that was just so impressive.
Now, the first thing I saw on social, Tommy, from you was a still picture, and so I'm just wondering, you've got this thing, you're recording the drone video. Your mind must be racing. How are you managing to record the video, get it on social, and call the weather service, or like how are you doing this multitasking?
Yeah, so I use the drone more as like a periscope. So instead of flying around with it, I just bring it straight up, and once when it gets up to the altitude that you want, it pretty much just stays there. And it stays there in automation or whatever, and it has a certain amount of wind resistance too, so that if there's a gust of wind, it'll stay in place. But when I start getting scared is whenever I'm at max wind resistance, and it'll start screaming at me saying, hey, I can't, we can't hold it any further. We can't use the return to home feature. And that's another cool thing with the drones, is that they have a return to home feature. I don't have to land it. I can just hit a button and it goes and comes all the way down.
Comes right back to how far the drones have come in such a short period of time. This video was so steady, I didn't actually even realize it was drone right away.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The drone does a good job of keeping steady, and then also on it as well. It's on a gimbal too. So
beautiful. Well, quickly, what type of drone is it?
So the one that I got is a DJI Air 3.
Okay.
And I was choosing between the DJI Mavic 3 and the Air 3. The Mavic 3 has a little bit better camera, but it also has more configurability to the camera settings. So like, if you're a professional photographer or whatever, the Mavic would go. I just wanted a periscope so I can go up with, and so I chose the Air 3.
Do you consider yourself a professional photographer or professional storm chaser?
No on both. But
you had me fooled.